It really depends on who you're talking to, but you know what? When you really talk about matchups, you're talking about Pokemon and ICE agents coming together on immigration. But some people believe this video is ice cold. Did you know Pokemon and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement have a connection? This video was found on the TikTok account for the White House. I wanna be the very best. No one ever was.
It's like everything else this White House administration does. It's trying to get a reaction out of the public.
The video is called Gotta Catch 'Em All, and so far it's been viewed millions and millions of times. It shows an immigration roundup, and Pokemon is on the case.
There's two completely different reactions to this type of video, and it's the same as everything the White House is doing right now.
This immigration attorney says the reaction he often sees is fear, as his clients are uncertain about their future in the United States.
Afraid of immigration, they're afraid to go out of their house, they're afraid to drive their kids to school, they're afraid to even take their children to things like pediatrician appointments, or they're afraid to go to church.
Fox 2 also reached out to Detroit City Council member Gabriela Santiago Romero, who had plenty to say about the video. Her statement reads in part, "This administration does not care about the safety of our communities. Maybe if they spent less time cosplaying as a child's game to give the illusion of safety, they could address the real threat to society, authoritarianism." And this attorney believes that the U.S. government should find more time to create solutions that end the immigration crisis rather than creating social media videos.
But the bottom line to this video, in my opinion, is Congress needs to get together on both sides of the aisle and put together some meaningful legislation that resolves the problem that immigrants are facing in this country.
Right. You know, back out here live, I was asking the attorney, you know, why actually use Pokemon to connect with people? And he says that this party, they want to be viewed as the cool party. They're really trying to connect with a certain demographics, basically 18 to 35-year-olds and also 16-year-olds who will be able to vote in that next election. Because once again, the GOP, they want to be viewed as the cool party. Back to you.
Well, it might not be that cool, though, when Pokemon sues, because we understand that they have they're using their intellectual property to be able to talk about these ICE raids. So might not be for long, Ingrid.
Time will tell, right? But I will tell you, you know, all day today just have been looking at this video, and it is amazing the number of people. At one point, it was like 4-point-some million, and then a few minutes later, it was over 5 million.
Yeah.
I mean, people are really gravitating toward this video.
Well, it's getting their attention, and that's what they wanted. So, well, yeah. We'll see what happens from here. Thanks, Ingrid. Yeah. A hotel that has been in the city of Detroit for nearly 100 years will soon be closing.
The Hotel Yorba fell into disrepair, and now residents have to find a new place to live. Fox 2's Charlie Langton is live with reaction to a landmark that even attracted the attention of White Stripes singer Jack White. Charlie.
That's right, it sure did. It's very popular because of the White Stripes song, but this place has been here, I think, as Terrence said, for just about 100 years, built in 1926. But look at the beautiful, well, the Art Deco sign that says Hotel Yorba, the glass that's here in front door. But look at the condition of this. It's terrible, which prompted the city of Detroit to slap this order here. It basically says that this place is dangerous and unsanitary, and that meant that the 35 people that had been living in this place, they had to get out by yesterday. Where are they going to go? That remains to be seen. But take a look at how popular this place really was.
1, 2, 3, 4, take the elevator at the Hotel Yorba.
All they got inside is vacancy.
The Hotel Yorba in southwest Detroit, made famous by the White Stripes song of the same name, built in 1926, but now all they got is vacancy.
It's a terrible tragedy. I mean, all these people live here and they had homes, and then they come back one day and then it's just all gone and they're all back on the streets again.
Yeah, I lost my place, yeah.
So what are you doing now?
Well, I'm just going, looking around, about to check out some shelters and what have you.
But after years of deterioration, both on the outside of the building and from the inside of the building, and earlier this month, the city slapped a vacancy order, essentially closing down the Hotel Yorba. What do you want to have happen to the Hotel Yorba?
I hope they can restore it and keep it going and have it be still standing about time for whenever they refurnish the whole city.
And as of Tuesday, the only occupants of the Hotel Yorba? The birds. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Right now, the Hotel Yorba, it is for sale, in part because the owner passed away, and this whole estate is in probate court. The judge appointed a receiver. That person, the whole job of that person is to sell this place. I did get a chance to talk to the real estate person. They said you can have the Hotel Yorba for about $2.5 million. That's the price. Maybe they're negotiable. He does say they had some interesting buyers, but we will see. As far as the 35 people or so that just had to get out as of really yesterday, the city of Detroit said they are going to help them try to find a new place to live. I am live here in Southwest Detroit. Roop, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, so I know you talked to one of the gentlemen who was in there. He's looking for a place. Other people out there, the other dozen or so people, do they have plans, or are they just out on the streets for the time being?
Well, you know what? I don't want to show you their home, but there is actually a parking lot. Don't show it, though. But there's a couple of people that are in their cars over here, including one of the people that we talked to. But listen, for many, many years, this hotel has deteriorated, and unfortunately, it was a place for some low-income people. Hopefully, that'll change if someone can get in here, buy it, and then renovate it. This is a nice area. A lot of nice places around here, Southwest Detroit. But we'll see. It does need a little work, as you saw. Roop?
Yeah, let's hope those folks find a place to go, and we hope this building finds new life as well. Charlie Langton for us live tonight. Thank you.
Well, the Weather Authority tracking the possibility of some rain, we're told, moving into the area this Tuesday.
Our Weather Authority, Rich Luderman, has been knocking it out the park the entire summer. He's going to say, you know what? You got a little bit of rain, deal with it.
Exactly. We need some rain, and some parts of southeast Michigan through Livingston and Washtenaw counties had some rain this afternoon. You can see there is a big blob of green from Kalamazoo to Hillsdale down to Fort Wayne, Indiana. And some of this is creeping in our direction, so it may take another couple of hours. But some of us will see some showers later on this evening. It looks like tomorrow is going to be the wettest day of this unsettled stretch. Certainly today, it was rain-free most of the time. 75 right now at Toledo. Here in Detroit, 72 there in Port Huron. On average, we'll dip back down to 63. Could be some areas of fog with some evening showers. And then tomorrow brings a good chance for showers, some leftover shower activity Thursday, and then a big improvement for late week starts Friday. We'll show you the weekend numbers, Taryn, coming up in 10.
All right. Thank you so much, Rich. Well, summer is officially gone. And yes, in parts of the state, the leaves are starting to change colors. Well, this year, that transition could happen quickly, and we'll tell you why. Also, one day after President Donald Trump's claim that Tylenol could be contributing to autism, strong reactions are still coming in from across the country. All of those details next.
But first, online gambling is big business these days, but the state of Michigan is taking action to shut down casinos they say are operating illegally in the state. The news at 6 is just getting started. The Michigan Gaming Control Board has issued a cease and desist letter to 8 unlicensed online gambling operators found targeting Michigan residents without state authorization. The operators ordered to stop offering gambling in Michigan are on your screen. The Gaming Board's executive director says these unlawful operators try to present themselves as legitimate entertainment options, but they offer zero player protection, no accountability, and a real risk to consumers. Players can confirm whether a site is licensed in Michigan by visiting michigan.gov/MGCB. Grocery chain Kroger also issuing a recall notice for frozen shrimp, all because of possible radioactive contamination. Aquastar Corp is recalling nearly 157,000 pounds of shrimp. That includes about 85,000 bags of Kroger's raw colossal easy peel shrimp, Mercado cooked medium peeled tail off shrimp, and Aquastar peeled tail on shrimp skewers. The products were sold from June 12th until September 17th. If you have any of this stuff in your freezer, you're urged to give it right back to the store for a refund or simply throw it away.
We have strong reaction pouring in following the president's announcement linking Tylenol to autism. Fox's Alexandria Hoff has more now from Washington.
The president probably said it a dozen times on Monday. Don't take Tylenol if you're pregnant, after top health officials claim there's an association between the use of acetaminophen, Tylenol's active ingredient, and autism in children. The president says he's trying to make America healthier. But across the country, the claim is being met with skepticism and even some anger.
It feels like a slap in the face.
Why are you doing this to us?
Some mothers of kids on the spectrum are strongly criticizing the announcement. Many say they feel like they're being blamed. Others point out moms who didn't take Tylenol during pregnancy also ended up having children with autism.
Oversimplifying it to a single cause undermines public trust, distracts from the real science, and diverts attention from the broader evidence-based research.
Doctors and scientists are also on the attack, including the author of a Drexel University study showing no causal link between acetaminophen and autism.
They've all reached the conclusion that there's no strong evidence to support that acetaminophen use during pregnancy increases risk of autism.
But Secretary Kennedy and President Trump say the science isn't so clear-cut, claiming there are at least 46 studies linking acetaminophen to autism. And while more study is needed, parents need to be cautious.
We know that people who take Tylenol for prolonged periods of time during pregnancy seem to have a higher incidence of autism in aggregate.
The FDA says it's in the process of putting new warning labels on Tylenol, but says the choice still belongs with parents. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox 2 News.
Well, it's now officially the fall season, and as we dive deeper, you may notice the fall foliage colors a bit sooner. Environmental experts say pre-autumn weather changes have impacted trees in many prime regions across the country. The colors are still expected to be bright this year, but August drought periods began the transitional process earlier than ever. The continued dry conditions mean they probably won't stick around as long.
Probably still have as many sort of reds and yellows, etc. But it'll just happen quicker. So if you're looking forward to getting out there and seeing some fall color, plan to do it in the next couple weeks, because with these dry conditions, those leaves will be falling off pretty quickly.
The leaves are more than just beautiful. Data indicates trees play vital roles in many states' economies. Outdoor recreation brings in anywhere between $16 to $20 billion per year, with nearly 50% of that value in the fall. And we know Michigan is a prime destination to catch those fall colors. Our web team has put together a map of when peak colors will arrive in the state. This is pretty cool. It's this interactive map. You can kind of focus in on the different areas. You can find it on our website, fox2detroit.com.
And Routh, it always helps if the sun is out. It really brings the colors out. And this weekend, we're going to have sunshine. So take a drive up north, perhaps around Hartwick Pines or close to Traverse City. You'll start to see more and more color. Next couple days, we're going to be dealing with this unsettled pattern from the Rockies through the mid-Mississippi River Valley into the Great Lakes. It looks like tomorrow will likely be the wettest day for us. Now, some of us this afternoon through Livingston and Washtenaw counties had some brief heavy downpours. You can see that action did fizzle out before it came as far east as Detroit. But now the next next cluster is down here over northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and southern Michigan. We'll zoom in with Sky Tracker, and certainly along the Ohio Turnpike to the west of Toledo, it is pouring out there. Some lighter showers up close to Battle Creek and Kalamazoo. So as the evening wears on, we'll see a better chance for some light showers. 76 the high today, a few degrees above where we should be when you factor in the high and the low. Right now, it's pretty mild, 72 Ann Arbor, 76 at City Airport. There's Pontiac, 72 degrees. Not a bad evening out there with a light breeze from the south and southeast. How about 80s right now for Cincy and for Charleston, West Virginia? It is cooler up around Marquette, 61 degrees there. So we're going to be dealing with this frontal boundary near us over the next 72 hours. So by Thursday evening, things are going to start to improve, and that's why we're setting up a beautiful weekend forecast. You'll see it coming up. A couple of showers later on this evening, down to 63. Tomorrow, we'll see some occasional showers and 72. Lingering showers Thursday, especially the first part of the day. And then look at that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, primo weather. Always a good time to take a drive and see some colors. Miller, and I know you're talking baseball and football tonight.
I love it. We got some big baseball coming up tonight. It is the Tigers and Guardians. We'll talk about that coming up. Plus, last night, big game in Baltimore. How about what the Lions did to the Ravens? Jared Goff and that offense, money. We'll take a closer look. Your conversation with the quarterback next. All right, start with the Tigers. I'm not sure I have the right adjective for tonight's game, but suffice it to say, it is huge. Tigers and Guardians in Cleveland getting underway just about 15 minutes from now. Detroit 1 up with 6 to play. And they got their ace on the mound at Tarek Skubal facing Gavin Williams. They have got to find some way out of their tailspin. They've lost 9 out of 10 going into this one. Their lead in the division has been trimmed from 9.5 to, as we said a moment ago, 1 game. We'll have highlights later tonight on Fox 2 News at 10 and The Edge at 11. Lions, what a night. The win is one thing. To win and see them all roll in all three phases, that was something else. Defense, 7 sacks. Didn't see that coming. Forcing Derrick Henry into a critical fumble and a temper tantrum. That was pretty cool. And the offense just coming up with a big play after big play after big play. That wide-angle view was where we started when I caught up with Jared Goff after the game.
Big win on the road against a really good team early in the year. Coming off a big win for us last week and being able to solidify it again against a good team on the road is big.
You started fast, too, and Coach showed faith in you getting that 4th down that led to that first touchdown. How big was that to come out early?
Yeah, part of our plan was against these guys, you got to be playing either tied or with the lead. You get down a score or two, that's when on defense they kind of can have their way. And so we were planning on staying at least tied or ahead the whole game, and we really did that.
How many games have you had with a 98-yard drive and a 96-yard drive?
Yeah, those guys were up front were doing it, man. They really were, and I know they were tired and they were grinding and they kept running the ball, and it was good.
So many plays you had to make in this game. The 4th down throw to Amon-Ra. That's that trust that you have in him and the trust they have in you to make that play. Just talk us through that one.
Yeah, we were had that one in our back pocket all night, and I was just begging Dan to let it off the hook, and that was one of his babies all week that he wanted, and so that last fourth down, I said, if it's going to be anything, it's going to be this, and he's like, let's do it, and it was great.
Then you had the one on the inside the 5 where you gave it to Amon-Ra. He got it out to Gibbs again. I mean, you've got to execute that.
Yeah, it was sweet. We've had that one, practiced it for quite a while, and I don't know if we've ran that in a game before tonight, but one that to everyone else it looks like really hard. We've practiced it for quite some time. It was pretty simple for us, but those two guys making that happen is incredible.
You always talk about complimentary football. What did it mean when you saw 7 sacks go up on the board tonight and your defense was getting you the ball back?
Our defense showed up. They really did. And to be honest, we didn't do enough off of turnovers and stops that they had, and the end of half is about as bad as it gets by us on offense. So there's plenty of things that we can help them out with, but they kept picking us up, man. They really did, and allowed us to get back on the field and get more points.
Final thing, this is a big one to enjoy, but a short week. I know you're going to say you got to get right back at it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're already a day behind now, so got to get right back to it. And Cleveland's got a great defense. We know that, and we'll have our hands full.
All right, busy night coming up, 7 o'clock, Sports Office on the Fox Local app. Join us as we talk Tigers, Lions, sprinkle in a little wings as well. Bertzi will be in the house right at the top. Fox Local, how do you get it? We'll tap that QR code you see right there on your screen. Also invite you to join the show by utilizing the Zoom link that's on your screen during the program. Want to hear from you, 7 o'clock tonight. And Tuesday means we have the latest edition of First and North. All the latest from the Lions, Packers, Vikings, and Bears with a reporter from each city, wrapping up the latest from the weekend, looking ahead to next week's schedule as well. That is First and North right here, Fox 2 at 7:30 tonight. And obviously, I sat in for the Lions and First and North. It is a much more uplifting show when you're coming off a win like that.
Oh, yeah. And then they think it's not just one win, that they're, on a bit of a streak. It'll be it's momentum.
It is one win. It is momentum, but you got to carry it into next week in Cleveland. If you lose to Cleveland, then that loses a lot of its luster. But not to be lost, Tigers. Let's go, man.
Listen, you're going to have
tonight. They need an effort tonight.
Happy Lions
fans. They have got to have a win, Tigers. Let's go.
Cranky Tigers
pitching,
fans.
defense, hitting. Luderman, show me.
I'm ready. Look at that. Luderman Lumber Company. Get me in there.
Nice even swing there, Rick.
Yeah.
Even swing.
Let's talk about the weather. Okay. We've had some shower activity today. It is on the mild side, 75 for us. There's Cleveland at 74. The radar shows that heavier blob of rain down along the Ohio-Michigan border region especially. How about some great live pictures from Traverse City? Looks nice there. A few splashes of color. We'll get down to 63. And then tomorrow will be damp at times, but a big improvement for the weekend. We'll show you those numbers after the break. Taryn.
All right, Rich. Well, it took just over 2 hours for a jury to find Ryan Routh guilty for trying to murder President Donald Trump back when he was running for office. We'll have the latest from Florida following today's verdict next.
back with more on today's verdict in the trial of the man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump.
The attempted attack happening in Florida last September. Fox's Connor Hansen has more on the eventful day in court.
Deliberating just over 2 hours, the jury unanimously found Ryan Routh guilty on all 5 charges. That was followed by dramatic moments. Routh apparently trying to stab himself in the neck with a pen before being restrained by U.S. Marshals.
A Florida jury finding Ryan Routh guilty of trying to kill President Trump at his golf course last year. The trial lasted just over 2 weeks. And now Routh has been convicted on 5 federal charges, including attempting to assassinate a major presidential candidate and assaulting a federal officer. During closing arguments, prosecutors told jurors there's no doubt it was Routh who was camped out at the golf course with a rifle. Quote, evidence has shown one thing and one thing only. The defendant wanted Donald Trump dead. They say he excessively stalked Trump's location and wrote a rap song about killing the then presidential candidate with a sniper rifle after he was arrested by the FBI.
The narrative here is really, really tight. They presented it in a very, very compelling way.
Routh, who has been representing himself, made